In a world that often confuses noise with significance, there's a quiet strength that goes unnoticed. It's the power of silence, a choice not born from the inability to speak, but from the wisdom to listen. Welcome to our exploration of 7 traits of people who speak less, a journey into the profound impact of choosing silence over words. Have you ever noticed how some individuals, despite speaking less, seem to carry a certain presence, a depth that resonates in their every action and word? It's as if their silence speaks louder than words, drawing us in, urging us to listen more closely. This isn't coincidental, it's intentional, a deliberate practice that transforms not just how they communicate, but how they navigate the world. Through the lens of Stoicism, we'll uncover the layers behind this practice of silence, revealing how it cultivates traits that are not just admirable, but essential for a life of purpose, understanding, and resilience. From fostering an environment of concentration and focus, to enhancing emotional strength, deep listening, reflective wisdom, resilience in adversity, emotional stability, and mindfulness, silence is their secret weapon. But why do these individuals choose silence and others don't? Is it fear of what one might hear in its depths, or is it simply that they have forgotten how to listen? And how does this choice empower them to lead lives of such rich character and depth? Join us as we delve into the stories, practices, and philosophies that illuminate the power of speaking less, revealing the vibrant tapestry of life that unfolds when we dare to embrace the quiet. The power of silence. It's in silence, in the quiet spaces between our words, that the seeds of wisdom find fertile ground. Know why? Because that's where clarity lives. This is the realm of the Stoics, where silence is not merely a pause, but a profound practice, a space and time for reflection that unveils the depth of life itself. But what exactly is the power of silence? It's the canvas on which the Stoics paint their virtues, the quiet before the dawn that promises the rise of insight and understanding. Silence, in its essence, is both a space and a time, a dimension where the noise of the external world fades, allowing the inner world to speak. It's in this space that reflection thrives, not as a passive act, but as an engaged dialogue with oneself, with nature, and with the continuum of human experience. Why then do we so often overlook silence, filling every moment with sound and fury? Perhaps it's because we fear what the quiet might reveal, or because the din of daily life drowns out the call to look inward. Yet the Stoics teach us that it's in the embrace of silence that we discover our strength, our resilience, and our true selves. Silence offers us the clarity to see life's challenges not as obstacles, but as opportunities for growth, for wisdom, and for a deeper connection to the world around us. So how can we reclaim the power of silence in our own lives? It begins with a conscious choice to step away from the noise, to create moments of quiet reflection in our daily routine. Whether it's a morning walk, a few minutes of meditation, or simply sitting with our thoughts, these practices open the door to the transformative power of silence. It's here in the stillness that we find the space to question, to listen, and to learn. The journey through the traits of those who speak less is a journey back to the essence of what it means to be truly alive. Each trait, illuminated by the practice of Stoic silence, invites us to engage with the world in a more intentional, meaningful way. As we delve into the chapters that follow, remember that the power of silence is the thread that weaves through each trait, binding them together in a tapestry of Stoic wisdom. It's a reminder that, in the economy of words, silence holds immeasurable value, offering us both the space and the time to reflect, to grow, and to connect in ways that words alone cannot express. Let us embark on this exploration with open hearts and minds, ready to discover how the power of silence can transform not just the way we communicate, but the very essence of how we live and connect with the world. No distractions.
We suffer more often in imagination than in reality.
Why do Stoics value silence so much? Because it offers more than just an absence of speech. It's not just about being quiet, you see. It's about creating a space where your mind can flourish, free from the constant noise that seeks to claim your attention, free from distractions. By choosing silence, you're making a conscious decision to prioritize your mental well-being and focus. So what can you do to harness this power? Start small. Dedicate periods of your day to silence. Turn off your phone, step away from the chatter, and let yourself be with your thoughts. You might find it challenging at first. Our world is addicted to noise, after all. But with practice, you'll notice a shift. Your concentration will improve, your thoughts will clear, and you'll find a sense of peace in the quiet. The contrast between the external world's cacophony and your inner sanctum of silence couldn't be starker. It's in this silence that you'll discover your strength, your ability to focus, and your capacity to engage deeply with the world around you on your terms. Remember, it's not about shunning the world, but about choosing where to direct your attention. In silence, you learn to control not just your environment, but your reactions to it. This discipline, this ability to choose silence over chaos, is what separates the distracted from the truly focused. So, take a moment today to embrace silence. Let it be your teacher, your shield, and your guide to a more focused, engaged, and stoic way of living. Emotional strength.
The greatest remedy for anger is delay.
People, even if they aren't Stoic, who employ Stoic silence, are often emotionally strong, not just in the fleeting moments of victory, but in the quiet, unseen battles that rage within. For them, silence isn't just a pause in conversation, it's a fortress of tranquility in a world constantly at war with fleeting emotions. Just as a seasoned gardener patiently nurtures their garden, allowing each plant the space to grow and flourish, Stoic silence allows us to cultivate our emotional landscape with care and precision. Why is it then that this inner tranquility and deliberate choice to embrace silence is so powerful? It's because, in the silence, we're able to listen, not to the world, but to ourselves. In those moments of quiet, we find the space to ask, are my emotions tripping me up? What if I let it pass? This isn't about suppressing emotions, it's about understanding them, giving them the room they need to breathe, and then choosing how to respond. Applying this in your life starts with recognizing the power of a pause. Before reacting, before letting your emotions lead the charge, take a moment of silence. This pause is your ally. It's in this space that you can ask yourself, what's the best I can do? The wisest, most rational response to this situation? Sometimes the answer will be to speak or act. Other times it will be to maintain your silence, allowing reason to guide you. The difference is night and day. On one side, the reactive, impulsively emotional response. On the other, the calm, collected wisdom of Stoic silence. This is not about becoming emotionless, but about finding your emotional strength, your center. It's about being less like a leaf tossed in the wind of every passing emotion, and more like a deeply rooted tree, stable and resilient, no matter the storm. As Seneca reminded us, the greatest remedy for anger is delay. In extending this wisdom to all of our emotions, we see that silence offers us this very delay, a precious interval to process, understand, and decide how best to move forward, anchored not in the tumultuous sea of emotions, but in the solid ground of reason. So, embrace silence not as the absence of speech, but as the presence of an unshakable emotional foundation. Use it to enable yourself, enough to say, "This too shall pass." The art of deep listening.
We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak.
In practicing Stoic silence, we become like musicians, attuned not just to words, but to the rich tapestry of human communication, tone, emotion, the unsaid. Speaking less doesn't make us passive. It sharpens our ability to truly hear and understand others. Real communication goes beyond words, which is why deep listening is so crucial. It's about understanding the emotion behind a statement, the story behind the silence. When you listen deeply, you're not just hearing, you're respecting and valuing the person in front of you. This attentive presence breaks down walls, builds trust, and deepens connections. How can you cultivate this skill in your daily life? By paying attention, by challenging yourself to listen more and speak less in conversations. Focus on the other person, their words, and everything they're communicating non-verbally. It's about being fully present, offering your undivided attention without the rush to respond. This might feel uncomfortable at first, like a musician learning a new piece, but with practice, it becomes a part of you. While listening merely for the sake of listening skims the surface, eager to jump in with a response, deep listening, that is listening with intent and purpose, dives deep, seeking understanding and connection. This is the essence of Stoic silence in communication. It's not about muting your voice, but amplifying your understanding and empathy. Epictetus's words echo, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." In the context of deep listening, this wisdom reminds us of the power of silence as a tool for understanding and connection. It's in listening deeply that we find the true essence of communication, not as a means to reply, but as a way to connect, understand, and grow closer to those around us. The art of reflective wisdom.
Don't explain your philosophy, embody it.
The Stoics use silence to actively chart their course in life, using the quiet moments to reflect deeply on the lessons life presents. This reflection isn't passive, it's an engaged, deliberate process of sifting through experiences, thoughts, and the wisdom of others to find your true north. Know what makes this reflection so essential. Because life doesn't come with a manual. It's through reflection that we create our own, compiling insights and lessons that guide us. Silence offers us the space to do this important work, away from the distractions and noise that often cloud our judgment. It's in these quiet moments that we can engage with our experiences, asking ourselves, what can I learn from this? How can this help me get better? To begin this journey of reflective wisdom, start by embracing moments of silence in your daily life. Use these periods not just for rest, but as opportunities for active reflection. Dive into the depths of your experiences, thoughts, and the teachings of those who have walked this path before you. Journaling can be a powerful tool in this process, helping you to articulate and crystallize your reflections. The contrast between simply living life and actively reflecting on it is like the difference between looking at a painting from afar and examining it up close. From a distance, you see the whole but miss the nuances. Up close, you notice the strokes, the colors, the textures that give the painting its depth and beauty. Stoic reflection allows us to see the nuances in our lives, to learn from them, and to apply these lessons moving forward. Don't explain your philosophy, embody it. This sentiment, as Epictetus rightly reminded us, captures the essence of Stoic reflection. It's not just about thinking, it's about transforming those thoughts into actions, into a way of being. Through silence and reflection, we distill the wisdom of our experiences and the teachings of others, integrating this knowledge into the fabric of our lives. In the quiet, engage deeply with your experiences, learning from them, and allowing them to guide your path. This is the heart of reflective wisdom, not just experiencing life, but understanding it, learning from it, and using that knowledge to navigate the complex, beautiful journey ahead. Resilient in adversity.
You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength.
Resilience amidst adversity, when fostered through the practice of silence, isn't merely the absence of sound. It's a sanctuary where calmness and clarity flourish, enabling you to face life's storms with composure and determination. It offers a pause, a momentary breath where we can step back from the immediacy of our challenges to assess them with clarity. In the cacophony of our daily struggles, this silence is a haven where we can calmly strategize and summon our inner strength, preparing ourselves to face whatever lies ahead with a steady heart and a clear mind. So, how can you harness this silence to build your resilience? Start by integrating moments of quiet reflection into your routine, especially when faced with challenges. Use this time not to escape your problems, but to confront them with a composed mind. Reflect on past adversities you've overcome, drawing strength and insight from these experiences. This process of reflective silence isn't about finding immediate solutions, but about nurturing a state of mind that approaches problems with patience and wisdom. Reactivity is like a ship caught in a storm without a compass, tossed aimlessly by the waves. Resilience, cultivated through silence, is the ship that navigates the storm with a clear direction, guided by the steady hand of a seasoned captain. This reflective stance allows us to not just endure adversity, but to grow from it, drawing upon our inner resources to emerge stronger. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This powerful statement underscores the essence of Stoic resilience. It's not the absence of adversity, but our response to it that defines our strength. Silence gives us the space to choose our response wisely, to draw upon our inner fortitude, and to face life's challenges not as victims but as architects of our destiny. Emotionally stable.
The mind that is anxious about future events is miserable.
Stoic silence acts as a foundation for emotional stability. Not by suppressing emotions, but by creating a space where they can be calmly processed, understood, and managed, without the need to express or act on every single one impulsively. Emotions, while a natural part of our human experience, can often cloud our judgment and lead us down paths that disturb our peace of mind. By embracing silence, we grant ourselves the opportunity to step back, to observe our emotions as they arise, to acknowledge them, and to choose how we will respond rather than being at their mercy. So, how can you cultivate this emotional stability? Begin by embracing periods of silence daily, using them as opportunities to tune into your inner dialogue. Notice how emotions surface and how they affect your thoughts and behaviors. This practice is not about judgment or suppression, but about observation and understanding. As you become more adept at navigating your inner landscape, you'll find it easier to maintain your composure and peace of mind, even in situations that once might have upset your balance. This mastery over one's inner dialogue and reactions is not a denial of emotions, but a harmonious balance, acknowledging their presence while not letting them steer the ship. As Seneca had aptly put things into perspective, the mind that is anxious about future events is miserable. This anxiety often stems from unmanaged emotions projecting into the future. Through the practice of Stoic silence, we learn to bring our focus back to the present, to manage our emotions with wisdom, and to maintain our equilibrium. It's here, in the tranquility of the present moment, that emotional stability is nurtured. Embrace Stoic silence as a tool for emotional stability. Let it be your sanctuary for processing emotions, a place where you can find balance and peace amidst life's emotional whirlwinds. By mastering your inner dialogue and reactions, you cultivate a serene mental landscape where emotions are guests, acknowledged, but not allowed to overthrow the tranquility of your inner home. Mindfulness.
Don't just say you have read books. Show that through them you have learned to think better, to be a more discriminating and reflective person. Books are the training weights of the mind.
Imagine embodying mindfulness, where each moment is an opportunity for deep engagement with the world around you, to establish a profound connection to the present moment. This is the essence of Stoic silence, a mindful practice that encourages not just observation of the world and our thoughts, but engagement with life in a serene, fully aware manner. It's about appreciating the depth and richness of each moment, recognizing the potential for growth and understanding in the simplest of experiences. Isn't it all too easy to become lost in thoughts of the past or worries about the future, missing the beauty and lessons the present has to offer? Stoic silence, with its emphasis on living in the now, helps us break free from these distractions, enabling us to connect more deeply with our surroundings, with others, and with ourselves. It doesn't take much to start being mindful this way. Do this. Dedicate time to simply be in the moment, whether you're walking, eating, or resting. Observe your thoughts as they come and go, but don't cling to them. Instead, focus on your senses, what you can see, hear, smell, touch, and taste. This practice isn't about emptying your mind, but filling it with the present, engaging with your surroundings and your experiences with full attention and without judgment. This difference between a life lived on autopilot and one infused with mindfulness is huge. Without mindfulness, we're like leaves carried aimlessly by the wind, disconnected from the world and ourselves. With mindfulness, cultivated through Stoic silence, we become like trees, deeply rooted in the here and now, fully alive to each moment, each experience. Remember what Epictetus said about books. That wisdom applies equally to the practice of mindfulness. It's not just about knowing the concept, but living it, allowing the practice of Stoic silence to enrich your mind, to make you more present, and to deepen your engagement with life. Embrace Stoic silence as a pathway to mindfulness. Let it guide you to live each moment with intention and attention, fully appreciating the richness of the present. This is the heart of a mindful life, where every experience, every thought, and every interaction is an opportunity for growth, connection, and profound understanding. As our journey through the quiet yet profound world of Stoic silence comes to a close, we find ourselves standing at the threshold of a new understanding. The silence we've explored together isn't just the absence of sound. It's a rich, vibrant space where growth, reflection, and deep connection flourish. It's a choice that carries with it the power to transform not just our communication, but our very way of being in the world. We've delved into traits that seem all too rare in our fast-paced, noise-filled world: concentration and focus, emotional strength, deep listening, reflective wisdom, resilience in adversity, emotional stability, and mindfulness. Each trait, a thread in the tapestry of a life lived with intention and attention, reveals the true depth that silence can bring to our existence. The lesson here is clear. Speaking less isn't about withholding your voice, but about using it with purpose, about listening deeply, reflecting thoughtfully, and responding with care. It's a practice that invites us to engage with the world and with ourselves in a more meaningful, deliberate manner. So, as we conclude this exploration, I invite you to consider how silence might play a role in your own life. What spaces can you create for quiet reflection? How might listening more and speaking less enhance your relationships, your work, and your understanding of yourself? The answers to these questions aren't found in the noise around us, but in the silence within us. Let's carry forward the wisdom and practices of those who speak less, allowing them to guide us toward a life of deeper connection, understanding, and purpose. Remember, in the economy of words, silence is golden. It's in the quiet moments that we find the strength to listen, the space to grow, and the wisdom to understand. So, embrace the power of speaking less and let your silence speak volumes. As always, if you feel helped, then feel free to join our tribe too. How, you ask? By hitting that like button as a symbol of your commitment to change. By subscribing to join a community where wisdom isn't just shared but lived, to help us create powerful stuff. And don't forget to hit the notification bell, the gentle chime of a Stoic philosopher, reminding you to return to this space of learning and growth. Each like, each subscription, each notification is a step towards a collective awakening. And if you feel that stirring in your heart, that resonance with the words of Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, or Epictetus, share this video. That will help us immensely in continuing to create powerful and unique stuff for the community.